Hello Exiles! Commander Plater here and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today I have a video and I'm going to show you some base building tips, in particular around defense and how you can help reinforce your base with minimal space taking up. So, as you can see here, I've got a bit of a scenario set up. We've got different walls of different tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and this is just made from foundations. Over here we have a slightly different setup, and this is where it actually comes in, and this is the main tip. So we have a sandstone fence foundation sandwiched with a sandstone foundation and another fence foundation. So what this actually does is this will use the same amount of space as just a foundation on its own, but it's going to help you by increasing the strength of your wall overall. So here we've got 9,000, 10,000, 9,000, so that's 18,000 strength of the wall there. Over on this one you've got 45, 50, and then another 45, so that's 140,000 worth of hit points for an explosive to get through, and then 90, 100,000, 90,000. And that is in the same space that you'd need 3 foundations to get near the strength of that. So that's really, really handy. And that is why we use the foundations, not the walls. And the third scenario, which we're going to test out, is we just have a single fence foundation on top of another reinforced foundation and with doors in, and that's going to make more sense when we get around to it, but let's start our test to see how much damage we do. Now there is a very good chance that when I set off this explosive it's going to set off these other 2 as well, but that's perfectly fine because chances are you're going to have a splash damage involved. So we're going to compare how much damage is caused on each one. Let's get this underway. Okay, we'll get this final one set off. Oh, did something else go off? No, it's fine. There we go. So, we'll get out the old repair hammer. So, as you can see here, for damage-wise, this one in the middle, 490 hit points left. That's crap. Only 1,000 there, so someone could potentially finish this off with a couple of hits from a steel weapon and they'd be in. Obviously, people would typically use steel on tier 1 anyway, but as you can see, this is a really damaged base. It's not going to take very much to get through it. Over here, this has caused 10,000 or just under 10,000 worth of damage there on the main impact. Obviously, as soon as you get around the sides, it's quite a large reduction. Over on the tier 3, as you can see, yep, it's caused again that 10,000. They're going to need another 11 bombs to get through this particular wall. Right, we're going to carry out the same experiment with our fences now, the ones that have been reinforced. And yes, we will look at them all at the same time. And we'll just pop another one in here as well. Okay, so we will start with tier 1. So we can have a quick look. And as you can see, this sandstone foundation has only taken 5 points of damage. And that's where it makes the difference. So previously, they would have to have used a bomb and a couple of hits to get through. They now have to use 2 bombs or a bunch of hits to get through. And that makes a big difference there. As you can see on the back side here, this one, close to no damage whatsoever. So even if they get through this, they're going to have another one to get through on the other side. Let's have a little look to see what's happened on the tier 2. So tier 2, yep, it's caused the 10,000 damage there on the fence foundation. We can actually see, have a look, see what's happened on the back. Yep, only 5 points of damage. So in the middle, again, you're going to have that 5 points of damage, as you can see on the foundations around the side there too. So that's pretty handy. That means we're going to be in for a really solid defense. The amount of explosives they will have to use to get through this is going to be immense. Now next up on this one, so we can see it did cause around about the 10,000, the fence foundation, the reinforced stone fence at the top there, 1,000. Now if we have a look, only 5 points of damage. They have barely made a scratch. Obviously all of these have been damaged, but they are going to be very easy, light materials to fix. I can get this fixed in no time at all. And from there, well, what are you going to do? Done, problem solved. So, next up, we're going to look at our final scenario, which is the doors. And the reason why I've put this one in is because the doors will be your weak point. Nice. 1 arrow, 3 explosions. So, as you can see here, we've blown straight through the first door. It's to be expected. And the fence found, the door frame even, sorry, has taken some damage. We go inside. Yep, that's a little bit damaged there as well. But yep, you're straight through the door, no worries, no messing around. And from here, they're just going to smash their way through. Not going to be an issue. Now over here, you can see we've taken 10,000 off, so there's 10,000 damage they cause, but it remains your weak point. If you compare the amount of damage it can take, something to bear in mind when you're building doors. I always go for 2 doors if I'm going to have a structure, because that way it's going to take twice as long to get through. Here you can see on this tier 3, they're going to need 4 explosives to be able to get through this, maybe 5. We'll call it 5. Now, there are some other things to consider on there as well, is that in order to be able to get through a door, you do not have to use explosives. You can use the fire orbs as well, demon fire orbs. Use them in conjunction with grease orbs, you will burn your way through something. But okay guys, I'm going to call it time there for today's video. A very quick little hint and tip of how to maximise your space when you're building a base. Very, very simple, but also you'll find on, especially on PvP fast servers, this is going to be really, really handy, because that way you're going to get to use your limited space that you're going to have, as well as getting more XP and having a smaller base but better defended. Pretty simple, but I hope you guys found it interesting. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And as usual guys, I want to say thank you very, very, very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Commander Plater, out.